Alright, today we're going to be taking a look at some choices for second lenses for new photographers and filmmakers to start your collection. Let's get started. Alright, now if you have a Canon DSLR, this review is definitely for you because this is going to revolve around Canon lenses, as I have a Canon T3i. Now to start off, your kit lens, if you got one, is probably not very good at all. I have the Canon EF 18 to 55 millimeter lens, and it's not very good at all. Alright, let's get started. For sports photographers, or anyone who needs a lens that can zoom out quite far, I would suggest for your first lens, I suppose, 75 to 300 millimeter. This is from Canon. It runs right around $300, I believe, and it's actually a really good lens. I was taking some pictures of a game, and you can zoom in quite far. Yeah, so for long distance pictures, I would suggest a lens like this. Alright, for anyone looking for wide-angle lenses, they're difficult, as the good ones, the ones that can get that really good fisheye lens, are $1,000 or $2,000, and I wouldn't think that that's in your budget. However, a lens that I would suggest, it is 15 millimeters. It runs right around $700. It's the Canon EF 15 millimeter. It's an f-stop of 2.8, so that's really good, and it is a fisheye lens. That's what I would suggest for a wide-angle lens. Alright, this one, especially for filmmakers, is the 50 millimeter. This would be my first choice for a lens, as this is the lens that you would probably use the most. Now the 50 millimeter, with the depth of field and the way the lens looks, that's going to be closest to how your eyes see, and it's a really nice looking lens. So yeah, I would definitely suggest the 50 millimeter lens for your first lens if you are a filmmaker. Now another great lens though is the 35 millimeter lens. If you're gonna get it from Canon, for a not so great 35 millimeter lens, it's gonna run you $300, maybe more, and for a spectacular one, I suppose, it's gonna run you right at $1,200. So there's a big difference there, but I would definitely suggest the $300 one to start out with, see how you like it, and then upgrade when you can. Now if you're a photographer, it all depends on the media that you are capturing as to what type of lens I would suggest for your first one. If you're shooting long distance sports photography, I would suggest the 75 to 300 millimeter lens. It's only $300. If you're shooting beauty shots, close-ups, I would definitely suggest a 50 millimeter lens or a 35 millimeter lens. And for a wide-angle lens, I would suggest the 15 millimeter lens. Now for a photographer, the first lens you should get is a 50 millimeter. Hands down, it's the best lens that you can get, and it's really not too expensive for a fairly nice one. Anyway, that's my suggestions on lenses you should get if you are just starting out. If you have any questions about any of the lenses that I talked about in here, just leave a comment down below and I'll be sure to answer it. And if you liked it or if you didn't, I'd like to hear your feedback, and thank you for watching.